Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cassie here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips and tricks of how I navigate working in such a male-dominated industry. You know, obviously we're all working from home right now, so it's not as bad, but it's still important to talk about these things because I know as women sometimes we feel really intimidated and we don't speak up, and it can be a really stressful situation. Okay, so to give you guys a little background information, I do work in a very male-dominated industry. I work at a gaming company, EA, Electronic Arts, and in the Burnaby location, which is where I am, they basically create all the sports titles like FIFA, Madden, all the sports games basically is built by EA. So I'm sure a lot of your boyfriends or guy friends have played EA games before. So I work on the FIFA team, and I have to say, if I'm walking around the campus, you can definitely tell that like 70% of it is male and like the other 40% is female. But for my company, I think we're pretty diverse already. But obviously, naturally, you know, gaming is more guys tend to be more interested in it than girls. So personally, on my own team, we have quite a few people, honestly, both on this side of the world and in Bucharest, which is where the other half of the team is. And out of the entire team, I believe only 2 of us are females. No, 3 of us are females and like 15 of them are males. So that is a really, you know, different off balance. One of my managers is a female and I work directly for her. I work really closely with her, and it can be a really intimidating thing. You know, you're walking around the campus, there's all these guys everywhere, you're running meetings and you're sitting in a meeting room full of like 10 guys and you're the one girl and you're the one also leading the meeting. So all of this can be really intimidating, but at the same time it can also be really empowering. My first tip is honestly pick your workplace wisely. I cannot say this enough, because if you are already working, if you're going into a company and the workplace culture to begin with is already not great, people there, you know, you've seen Glassdoor reviews, people say, you know, some people are sexist, or there's just a lot of like toxic environment situations going on. Company culture is everything these days, and when I look for a company to work for, that is the first thing I look at. You know, at the interview, the vibe you're getting off from the people who you're working with or who are hiring you. Do they feel like they have the same vibe as you? Like, do they feel like they're good people? Is this a place you would want to work at? If you happen to work for a company that just doesn't have a great company culture, as hard as you try to make it better, there's just some sort of a barrier in the way that's never going to get fixed, because this great company culture of inclusivity and diversity needs to come from the top. If it doesn't come from the top and you're at the bottom trying to make it a thing, it's not going to work, because the people they're hiring are also not the right people for the company. And it also depends on you know, what kind of a person you are. Are you someone who's more sensitive? Are you someone that's able to work in like a really strict, hard-headed kind of environment? I personally, like, I do my best work when I feel relaxed, obviously. I feel the most confident, and I do my best work when I'm around people that I feel like I can collaborate with, because obviously in my UI UX job, it's a very collaborative type of workplace. So for me, I need to find a community of people that I feel like I can actually connect and be friends with. So pay attention to those things because they're really important. So say you've found a workplace, you're working there now, what is the next step? So the next step is to get to know them. I think this is a huge thing, because I know when I first started working at EA, a lot of the producers and managers and whatnot, they're all like males and they're all in their 30s, 40s, you know, obviously older than me. I'm 26 right now. The only way that I really found to relax me is to get to know them. Like, you just have to remember, all of these people, they're just people, you know, they're just everyday people. They're good people too. If you're at the right company, they don't have any ill intentions towards you. So get to know them. The more you get to know them, the more comfortable you will feel around them, and then the more confident you will be. And so what I would do is, you know, I would set up one-on-ones with them and basically just sit down and chat, get to know them. The more you see their faces, the more you talk to them, the more relaxed you will feel, and then that confidence will grow. So definitely get to know the people you're working with and try and get to know them on a friendship level, not just like boss and coworker, because that's a different vibe, you know? Like, if it's a boss and coworker vibe, it's really like awkward when you're starting a meeting with them as well. You know, don't necessarily always jump straight into the meeting details. You know, ask them like, hey, how's it going? How's everyone doing? What'd you guys do this weekend? Or you know, how's everyone feeling? That kind of just relaxes everyone a bit more. It opens them up more to conversate, and then that will then lead into the meeting more smoothly, and so you don't have to feel as tense and stressed out about the situation. Okay, so once you get to know them, now you're more comfortable around them, the next thing you need to know is yourself. What makes you feel the most confident and empowered? For example, for me, I feel the most confident when I have like a nice set of clothes on, I have my makeup done, I feel good, you know I look good too, and internally it just makes me feel like I'm really put together, and so that makes me feel the most confident. It could also be for you, maybe once you have that first cup of coffee, you have so much energy, and that's when you feel the most confident and most refreshed. Or it could even be like, for me as well, I like to actually review all of the stuff I'm going through during the meeting. I like to prep for the meeting, so I like to rehearse my meeting, thinking like beginning to end how I'm going to like speak to them about the problem and how I solve it and how I share my work. And so I go through it in my head, or I speak it out loud at least 3 times, just so I already kind of know the flow of the work. That way when I am in the meeting room with everyone, I can then present, and then it comes more naturally and it flows more well. So those are some tips that I personally like to do of getting myself in that headspace to be feeling more confident. The next thing is to just speak up. I think people in general really respect people that have a voice. They're not afraid to ask a question when they don't understand something, or bring up a point that other people haven't noticed. Like, everything, you have to remember in your head that everything you say has value, and there's no such thing as a stupid question, because in a room full of people, there is probably one person in the room who is thinking about the same thing as you, but they're just too afraid to raise their hand and say something. Honestly, like, no one really knows what they're doing. You know, they're all kind of just trying to figure it out along the way, and you're kind of just trying to figure it out together. But people really put up a front to show that like, oh, like I know exactly what I'm doing, but that's not true. People don't know what they're doing like most of the time. So just remember that, repeat that to yourself, and the next time you're in a room full of people and you know you have a question about something, just say it. And it's okay if you're like, hey, I have a question, I don't know if this is a stupid question or not, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. And that just makes it more relaxed and not as serious. I mean, I personally do that, and it's been totally fine. Another thing is I find a lot of inspiration from my manager as well. Like I told you guys, she's a woman and she is just so confident. She always speaks her mind. She sets such a good example for me, because every time I see her like asking questions and just like taking lead and speaking up, it empowers me to also look at her and be like, okay, if she can do this, I can do this too. And I see how like the other people in the room respond to her, and they don't, you know, look down on her and make fun of her question. They just answer it as is. And so I know I can do the same too. So yeah, just speak up. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Remember that everyone is just trying to figure things out at the same time. Even though they look like they know what they're doing, they probably also don't know what they're doing. So take charge. Those are pretty much all my tips for you guys of how to feel empowered in a room full of men and in a male dominated industry. I think a lot of it also comes with practice, because I wasn't always so confident, I wasn't always so talkative, but the more you get to know people and the more you feel comfortable in yourself and just like practicing to speak up and to take charge, the more you will be better at it. But you have to start somewhere and you have to just do it. Just know that when you're the only female in the room full of 8 guys, you shouldn't feel scared. You should feel empowered, because what's the best thing is you're a boss ass bitch in that situation. They are all waiting and listening to you speak your presentation or tell them about what you've made or whatever, right? You're the one leading the entire meeting. And instead of feeling scared, I actually feel really proud of myself during those moments, because I'm like, wow, they're all listening to me talk right now and they want to hear what I have to say. Every guy in the room is just a person, and if you treat them with respect, they're going to treat you with respect as well. And if you do ever have a problem, say like some guy is being really creepy, or they are sending you a bunch of weird emails, or like giving you like a really weird vibe, or you feel unsafe, there is always HR to back you up and to help you out. So never feel like you're trapped, because there is always someone on your team. Especially if you've already picked a good workplace to work for in the beginning. So I hope you guys like this video. I know it's a little bit different from what I usually do. Like I said, I am trying to kind of like change my content so it's more relatable to just what my life is like right now, and just sharing experiences and tips of growing up in your 20s and navigating your way through the workplace, as well as, you know, aspirations for more in life and that entire journey, and just documenting all of these processes and my growth throughout the years. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!